Guess what? Toxic Radio is going on a road trip.
Westbound and down, 18-wheeler rolling.
November 7th, we're crossing the river into Philly, and there's gonna be a party. Why a party on a Sunday in November, you may ask? What, are you new here? It's a football tailgate at Lincoln Financial Field for the Birds and Bolts matchup. Come out to see the Toxic Radio crew for fun, prizes, freebies, and shenanigans. Toxic Mike, Super Dave, John Evans, Mr. Entertainment, V. Godfrey, and Gene Walzak from the brand new Birds Deep podcast. Jimmy Page, Nicki Minaj, Martin Sheen, Kim Kardashian, Rover from Sesame Street, Rob Zombie.
Whoa! What the hell was that?
Oh, I don't know. Sorry.
That's it. No more coffee for you.
Fair enough.
So, just the people from Toxic Radio, right?
Right. Got it.
Okay. Proceed.
And we might even get a special live performance from Supreme de Resurrecta. So join us at noon, Sunday, November 7th in Lot N, right across from Jetro. Don't do your tailgate safe. Do it toxic.
Master, dinner is served. Igor, it's not that I don't appreciate the effort, but you know I prefer my meals uncooked. And how many times have I told you about using garlic? Yes, Master. Forgive me, Master. Please. Bite into Paradelphia. Thursday nights at 8, only on Toxic Radio. Paradelphia, because what if it's all true?
It's Toxic Radio, and 'tis the season for frightening masks, demonic voices, and men in heavy face makeup.
I'll swallow your soul!
And you might even see some people trick-or-treating, too.
Swallow this.
At Toxic Radio, we do Halloween just a little bit harder. Don't play it safe. Play it toxic.
Hey, miss an episode of Relationships 101? Don't sweat it. We got you covered. You can catch up on episodes on the Toxic Radio app, toxicradio.net, or wherever you get podcasts, like iTunes, Spotify, Deezer, and Odyssey. And don't forget to follow John on social media too. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Remember, just like any relationship, communication is key. Keep in touch.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in once again for another episode of the hottest relationship podcast out there, Relationships 101, and I'm your host. For the next 60 minutes, I'll be your doctor of love, John Evans. Happy Monday, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. As you can see, I'm rocking this Toxic Radio merch, the new hoodies. We'll get Mike to chime in later on in the show about how you can purchase and receive those, because we have a tailgate party coming up, and some of you lucky people will be able to get some of this merch free. But tonight we'll be talking about red flags in a relationship. Red flags are so important because it's how we get tripped up in relationships if we don't see them and become aware of them. And it's a lot of times that, they could be like stadium lights in your face and you still can't see them. And these things are very important, especially, in wanting to have and, discovering healthy relationships. One thing I can say, because I've been tripped up by them plenty of times, and most of you have too, but it's hard because, especially when you want that person, and you want them bad, them red flags would be right there, and you'll ignore them or make excuses for them. Oftentimes say sometimes the the vision doesn't line, the fantasy doesn't line up with the reality, and that's because those red flags was there, and we refused to see them. So let's talk about this. What is a red flag? Well, a red flag is essentially a signal that goes off when something isn't right. Basically, it's that feeling that tells you to steer clear of a situation. Red flag will show you things that your mate does or says that makes you uneasy, rubs you the wrong way. And like I said, a lot of times we see these things and, we make excuses for them or we just flat out ignore them. And, unfortunately, 9 times out of 10 or sometimes 10 times out of 10, it turns around and bites you in the ass. I found this topic so interesting because, well, first let me give props to Dr. Wendy Walsh. She has a PhD and is a clinical psychologist who specializes in relationships. And she says in relationships, red flags are signs that the person probably can't have a healthy relationship and proceeding down the road together would be emotionally dangerous. Wow, that's heavy. I'm going to break into some stories first, and then we'll break down some key red flags that you should be looking for, that anyone should be looking for. I'm going to get some feedback here and there tonight from my main man Mike, and I'm going to ask Mike's feedback because he is in a relationship, and I just want to know. I'm that type of person. I just want to know. So when he's ready, he'll chime in with me and we'll talk about it. But the first story I'm going to get into, this one is entitled, "He Had Several Women on the Go." She said, "My first time going over my new guy's house, a woman walked out of his apartment block and said, 'She's the fourth one this week.' I ignored it and stayed with him for 9 months. 9 months of wasted time because he had them on the go. And when I asked him about one of them, he said that she was crazy. I later found out that he had slept with her too." Well, the signs was there. And so you don't feel bad. I was actually in that same situation where I was seeing someone, and when I came out of her crib, the neighbor had made a comment like, "Well, she keeps them coming and going out of there, doesn't she?" And I was like, whoa. And I was like, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, he talking about somebody else. He ain't talking about her, But yeah, he was talking about her. So yeah, that was one red sign when, that person said that, you were the fourth one that week. He was, pretty active and busy. You ignored it. And, 9 months, that's a long time to be with someone. So I can imagine that there was quite a few signs that were going on there, that additional signs that were going on that you missed out on. And when you asked about the one, he said that she was crazy. I read, this is actually one of the signs. I don't know why I'm talking about it now. Actually, I'm not. I'll wait to hold on to that. But put a pin in that, where he said that the woman was crazy. So that we'll circle back around on that. Laura Rose, what's going on? I appreciate you chiming in tonight. Saying they're crazy is a huge red flag. It's a distraction, manipulation tactic. Oh my gosh, we were thinking the same thing. I'm getting into that later on. Saying they're crazy. Look what you're doing to me. Yes, we're thinking the same thing because it is a manipulation tactic. Yes, it is. And I will be touching on that later on. Yeah, I agree with you. When they say that their ex is crazy, ding, 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 you've ran across a red flag. Brad chimes in. What's going on, brother? He says, if the guy has 4 girls at a time, he should write a how-to book. Stop it. I doubt he had them at 4. I doubt he had them at one time. She was probably the 4th one that week. Now, if she was the 4th one that day, she should have hauled ass away from him. But nah, She was probably the fourth one that week, which still was enough reason for her to haul ass. I'm not going to condone that type of behavior, Brad. This is not that kind of show. You know that. But yeah, so the signs was there. The signs was there. And it's just a shame that, it took you 9 months to figure all that out and leave them because, time is something that we just can't get back. And, I'm a huge advocate on not wasting time. Another one I have here is I ignored the closeness of my boyfriend and my best friend. It's that title right there is just disastrous right there. Okay. I ignored the closeness of my boyfriend and my best friend when she moved into our house. Okay, we already see where this is going. I allowed them to tell me that they just had a lot in common. Unfortunately, they're still together to this day. I wish I had paid more attention to the red flags. Wow. Okay, let's unpack this here. I'm a huge advocate for not moving people, friends, into the crib if I'm living with my girlfriend. I just can't do that. Not that, I keep slimy people around me, but, things happen. Life is real and things happen. I'm just not a huge advocate for that. I don't recommend, even if the shoes was on the other foot, don't move your boyfriend or your girlfriend in. If it's just you two, keep it you two. She was getting hit with the old tagline, we just have a lot in common. Okay. Now, you should have had more in common with him than she did. That was your man. And I'm quite sure somewhere along the line, you had the gut feeling that something was not right. And when you have these feelings, don't ever be ashamed to speak on them. That's if you don't and you hold it in, that's how you get the wool pulled over your eyes. Like, unfortunately, you did in this situation. And I'm quite sure they were probably home together while you was at work or maybe at school or something like that. And, that's how that, thing took a course of its own. It's a shame, I mean, at least they're still together. But yeah, next time, I'm so sorry for that. That was not cool. Next time, just be a little more careful of those red flags. Mike, talk to me. What do you think of these stories so far tonight?
I actually think they're pretty darn tame compared to my experiences with red flags. And red flags are things that, like, it could be either an extreme red flag that makes you run out of the bar straight home because holy crap, or it could be a red flag that's just a simple thing, like you said, with being really close to your friend,
Right.
and you think nothing of it because you want your significant other to be cool with your friends because it makes for a really good relationship. It doesn't always happen. But it is good. But just thinking about red flags, I'm sitting here thinking about what was my most extreme red flag. And if you don't mind, I'll tell this story.
Please do, because I'm going to tell a doozy myself.
So I there's a girl who I had met, and she had asked me to go to the bar with her.
Right.
Just let's go on one date, and okay, cool. I forget where I met her, but. We ended up at the bar, a local bar here in South Jersey, and there's a little hole in the wall, little dive bar, and we're sitting there. We got some drinks and everything, and the girl I was with just started, she started just telling all, when a girl or a guy just starts telling, they are way too open and telling way too much on the first date,
Right.
and she started going to town. And these are going to be shocking. You're going to think I'm not telling the truth, or you're going to think that, holy crap, that's crazy. And you should have seen the people's faces that I saw of the people sitting behind her because they were looking over at me like, holy crap, dude, what are you doing?
Right.
She had mentioned that she used to be with a hardcore drug addict, and she was a dealer for him, which of course a red flag.
That's a hell of a way to start a date, but okay.
She also was a Craigslist hooker
Oh,
for 4 years.
okay.
For 4 years.
Okay. She's the gift that keeps on giving, but okay.
She explained. I was trying to go with the simplest ones to the most extreme, but they were mostly all extreme. She said that she mostly did foot stuff, and I'm like, all right. What she did. She told me about how she had dreams. She had two. She and I will not say her name because of what I'm about to say.
Please don't.
Especially because of what I'm about to say. She has children, and she told me how she would have dreams of drowning them.
Good Lord.
And that's not the act that she said is not funny. The fact that she's telling me all this on the first date, and what I realized as
and you're not looking for the exit.
Here's what's crazy. Here's what's crazy. The whole time.
Let's put a pin in what Brad has to say. Differently.
Go ahead, you can say what he's saying.
Mike, wrap that thing up twice. She ain't clean.
So the whole time, because this is, in the beginning of when I started Toxic and when we just started the radio station portion of Toxic, I'm thinking this is going to be great for the radio the next day. It was my own podcast I was going to talk about. Because what I'd realized is if I just was quiet, the reason why she was kept talking is because she was trying to fill the dead air. She was nervous.
Okay.
So she was trying to fill the dead air.
I mean, I've been in dates where nerves have gotten the best of me, but never where I've said, you know what, I think I'm going to go home and drown my kids. No. But let me see what Dave says real quick. Red flag, nah, that's a big fucking red signal flare with a siren attached. Run fast, run far.
And
all right, let's get it.
And I'm trying to remember other stuff, but it really went on and on. Oh, there was one other. I'll finish with this one. We would start talking about tattoos, and tattoos are a good conversation to have on a first date. What do you have? What do I have? What tattoos do you want to get? Stuff of that nature. And so we started talking about tattoos and tattoo artists and all this kind of stuff. And she explained to me that she was going to get, she wanted to get and was going to get a penis with a crown on it or something like that, or what a queen has, like a tiara.
Okay.
And she was going to get this on her arm. And I said, why would you get that? That's very strange. She explained exactly what it was going to look like and how big, and it was very detailed.
Okay.
And she explained that all of her friends, their nickname for her was the blowjob queen.
Okay. Okay. She led with a lot of stuff during that date. Wow.
This was literally
Tanya Groom's Butler, my girl. What's going on? She said, "Run, Forrest, run."
It was literally within the first hour of sitting there with beer, so I didn't even have alcohol enough to really absorb everything she was giving me.
Dave says, Mike, if you're thinking about how your date can lead to entertaining radio, that ain't a woman to marry. Just saying.
So after this date, and I did go home, and I was very polite to her, very nice. I went home, and the very next day was my podcast at the time, which is no longer around, called BTG, Battle of the Grind. So I get on with my friends, and we start discussing the date that I had, and I go down the line of the stories, and they're all just in shock. The room is going crazy with this, and they're going insane, just like the chat room's going insane. Right here tonight.
Brad, sounds like marriage material. No, she does not, Brad. You need a team of researchers around you, much like the Elephant Man had. Stop it, Brad.
So she was listening to the episode because we were broadcasting live.
Oh.
She listened. She loved it. She was listening. She loved it. She loved the stories. So one of my co-hosts at the time, at the end, the big payoff was, all right, Mike, well, you went on this date, first date. So what are you going to do now? Obviously, second date, right? I look over and everybody said, absolutely, second date. We got to make this happen. That was the joke that I was going to go on a second date. The show ends and she's messaging me and she goes, I heard you say second date. I'm holding you to that. And I said, yeah, I'll get back to you.
Please tell me you ghosted her.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
You know, I have one, and hopefully Dave, Brad, Tanya, and Laura, and everyone's listening because this is a doozy. Okay, I was on this dating site, and I met this woman. We didn't live too far from me, and that was like low incentive because she did not live far. Now, you know, just hearing what she wanted and, you know, what she was looking for, you know, really had me enticed because it seemed like it was the same thing I wanted. So I get off work one day, laying across the couch. She texts me, she's like, well, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm not doing anything. Why? What's up? She said, I want to see you. So I would not say this person's name, but I would say I had to go over the Commodore Barry Bridge to go see them. That's all I'm going to say. So we agreed to meet at Dunkin' Donuts parking lot because I was familiar with the area. So I'm sitting there waiting. She pulls up beside me. So she's like, get in. I'm like, great. I didn't feel like driving anyway. All right, cool. So soon as I get in the car, I mean, almost before I shut the door, she slams the truck in reverse. I'm like, oh. So she cuts through the overpass. Cuts through the intersection. She's driving erratically down the road, like almost just barely enough where she's not clipping rearview mirrors and stuff, side mirrors. So I'm like, oh, what are you driving so crazy for? Because I'm scared now. So she's like, calm down, drink this. So it was juice. I'm assuming it's juice. I drank it, spit it out. It's more vodka than it is juice. That's when I realized that she's drunk out of her ass. So she's in this SUV. My girl, Tisha, what's going on? You get in cars with strangers? I also accept candy from strangers. No, I don't. I'm just joking. Follow me with the story. So she's pushing this SUV 65, 70 miles an hour down this road. And I'm like, I am scared to death. I'm holding on to my seat. I'm like a cat with his nails stuck in the ceiling. So I'm like, why are you driving like this? Stop, pull over. She's like, shut up. You acting like a bitch. And she even mushes me while she's driving. Get to an intersection. We're at a stoplight. So the whole time we're at the stoplight, I'm thinking to myself, where the fuck is the cops when I need them? So she pulls out this joint. She's like, come here. Puts her arm around my neck and tries to give me a shotgun. Whole time she's blowing this weed smoke in my face, I'm blowing it back in hers. Jesus. I'm like, I don't want none, stop. So light goes green. She slams on the gas pedal. Peels out from that light. No cars are around, no cops, no nothing. So I'm like, look, take me back to my car now. Take me back to my car right now, damn it. So what she does is she turns in this parking lot. Dave, dude hopes the day ends with him calling God's name, not that it starts with him praying to God not to die. Well, the crazy thing, and it gets deeper than this. So she pulls into a parking lot where a church was. So I'm like, well, what are we doing here? I thought you said take me back to my car. So at the same time, she sticks her hand down my pants. Her mom calls on the Bluetooth. She picks the phone up with her hand in my pants. Her mom is on the phone and she says out loud, you ain't even hard. Her mom is like, what? Nothing, Mom. I'll call you back. Hangs the phone up. I said, look, take me back to my car right now, damn it. Enough is enough. So erratic driving again. I'm scared to death. She winds up pulling over to this playground. I'm like, well, what are we doing here? We're not even close to my car. She's like, I got to go to a bathroom. I'm like, what? There's no porta potty around. What are you doing? She said, no. I do this all the time. When I'm driving, I got to piss. I come to this playground. I'm like, what? I thought she was joking. What's the thing that the merry-go-round? Goes around to the merry-go-round, squats, and takes a piss. I said, stop. Don't do this. Somebody's kids is going to come around here and want to play tomorrow, and it's going to smell like piss around there. She comes into the car with the napkin that she had wiped herself with.
Jesus Christ.
Said,
oh, my God.
It's not going to smell like piss. Smell this napkin. Smell like flowers, don't it? I told her, I said, look, damn it, enough is enough. Now, I'm tired of playing with you. I said, if you put that napkin near my face, I will break your shit off. I said, not to mention, the heat is on and these windows is up. That napkin don't smell like flowers. It smell like warm Corona. Now, take me back to my damn car. Finally takes me back to my car. Now, she's causing a scene in front of this Dunkin' Donuts because I won't kiss her goodbye. She's like, oh, well, I'm going to call you. I'm like, no, you don't have to. You don't have to. Finally got my car. I told my buddy, I said I was so embarrassed and pissed off. When I turned the ignition in my key and I looked down, there was a little quarter spot where I pissed myself from being in the car, shook to death with her. There was too many red flags in that story that I should have saw and picked up on. Yes, there was tons of red flags. Suffice to say that there was not a second date. There was not even a phone call anymore. I wish her well, and hopefully that she did get some type of rehabilitation or whatever she needed. But, nah. And I actually blocked her out of my phone, too. Out of my phone, social media, and my spirit. So, yeah, that was my horrific red flag date.
Wow.
Dave said, who the hell has a special playground just for pissing? There was no special playground just for pissing. That's just where her drunk ass wanted to go, Dave. What special place she had to... Oh, my gosh, I'm not going to finish this one. Drop a deuce. That's enough, Dave. Okay, the next story we have is never meeting his friends or family. I was with someone for 4 years, but I never met anyone from his friends or family. He would tell me that he was protecting me from them because they would make me feel some type of way about my weight. I thought he was protecting me, but it seemed like more that he was hiding me. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. And unfortunately, those things do happen. That is a red flag. When you're with someone and you don't meet their friends and their family and they make up excuses on, why you can't meet them and, why you can't come around them. And that's a huge red flag. Anytime you're dating someone, they should be, ready, willing, open to, have you meet their friends, their inner circle, their family. And them saying that, or him saying that he was protecting you was a bullshit excuse. I'm going to touch on the last one. It says, no need to brag. This person says, I met this guy at a local gym and said that they hit it off immediately. On the first date, he spent the entire evening telling her how he cheated on his ex for over a year without getting caught. Damn. I excused myself to go to the bathroom and slipped out of the restaurant, never to hear from him again. Well, you saw that red flag and you acted correctly on that. Where are you meeting these people at? Damn. Who spends the first date bragging to a woman that they just met that they was cheating on their ex for a year without getting caught?
Jocks.
Well, she did meet him at a gym. She did meet him at a gym.
Yeah, it's a musclehead jock.
I'm just
who
like,
thinks he could do it
damn.
all at once. That is, again, I don't understand these people. I understand nerves. I understand anxiety. I understand. But when you just start telling stuff,
make it make sense. I'm just like, my God.
I mean, I will admit, I've been on dates where, I'll be like, I've been on the radio. Opie and Anthony, what'd you do? I ate, mashed potatoes and puked, and another guy drank it, which is probably their horror story. About the guy who told them about being on a radio show. So, but no, trying to actually brag about your cheating skills with a girl, unless you're trying to get into that what is it called, polygamy, where like you don't have any strings attached, kind of swinger stuff. I don't know.
Or maybe he was just trying to. Okay, this is one only reason I could think of. Maybe he just wasn't that into her.
Yeah.
Laura says, who the hell does that? I'm trying to figure that out too, Laura. Maybe he just wasn't into her and he was trying to, maybe just get rid of her. Dave says, maybe I should be happy. I haven't had a ton of dates. My worst horror story doesn't even begin to compare to this stuff. Yeah, you don't want dates like these. You don't want dates like these. Tanya Grooms Butler says he was drunk. Or he could have just been an ass. Either or. He could have been drunk or an ass, or he could have been ass drunk. Either or. So, yes. Brad says maybe he really didn't want to date her and said those things to get rid of her. I agree. Brad, this is the smartest thing you said tonight. We're on the same page. You get this emoji. Yes. We are on the same page with that one. I don't think that he was feeling her, and I think he was trying to get rid of her.
It's that whole, just nosedive into the ground. Screw it.
Right.
This isn't going the way I thought. Let's have some fun. I've heard the same thing about job interviews. If you know the job interview, if you realize the job ain't for you and you're in the middle of it, screw it. Have some fun. Just go to town with it.
Right.
It doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yep.
So if you're on a date and you know that it ain't going nowhere, I feel like I might have done that before. I know that I met a girl for an online date up in North Jersey. When I met her, she was nothing like the profile. She had a bunch of things wrong. And I just remember starting to tell her stories and because it didn't matter anymore. It didn't matter. I wasn't going to see her again.
Right.
So it's a very good possibility.
I remember I had that done to me before. I don't want to say where I went, but let's just say that this person was extremely attractive. And I went to the date, and we had talked and even did the FaceTime thing. And when I got up there, that's what happened. Nosedive to the ground. It was almost just like, you know what, I'm never going to see him again. Let me do and say anything messed up to, send a message that I'm not interested. And I got it. I drove home an hour and a half crying about it, but I did get it. Dave says, dude was looking for an easy mark. Telling her he already cheated was a litmus test for how much shit she would tolerate from him. Oh, I never thought about that.
That's a
Dave, you are diabolical. Damn. Okay. Yes.
Test out the waters. How much is she okay with?
Man, you women better be. You better watch out when Dave approaches. Shit. I may need you as a wingman too, but yeah, true. Just to see how much stuff she would tolerate. You are correct about that. Wow, never thought about that. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to go over some flags that you should be looking for. I found this one interesting because we talked about this earlier. When people can tell countless stories about their exes and label them crazy, well, that's a red flag right there. Yeah, if someone, can say that all their exes are crazy without taking some type of responsibility, that they've done something wrong to ruin their relationship themselves, then you need to haul ass from that person. For one, no one is perfect, and I got news for you. If all the exes are crazy, you about to be the next crazy ex. So, yeah, it's time to get away from that person. I myself can say that I've been in a good amount of relationships, and I can honestly say that, for the most part, I've screwed up quite a bit of them. I'm no choir boy. I have screwed them up. I'm never going to say that, all my exes are crazy. Some of them were. Some of them were. I had the papers to prove it. But for the most part, I've had my hand in, ruining a relationship a time or two. So, if you ever run into someone and all their exes are crazy, no, turn around, do an about face, and haul ass. That's someone that you do not want to get involved with. We touched on this earlier with the young lady that never met the friends and family. If you can be with someone for a decent amount of time and you have not met any friends or any family, that's a huge red flag right there. That's a major red flag. Well, let's face facts. A person's friends and her family, that's their support system. that's their inner circle, And if you have not met them, that's saying something. Either he's ashamed of you or, you could be one of many girlfriends that he has. Brad says most of my exes were married at the time we dated. I guess I have it tight. Yeah, they're called wives. But okay, Brad. Yeah, if you can't meet someone's friends or family, that's a huge red flag. And if they give you an excuse on why, that's an even bigger one. Major reason why you should not be fooling with that individual. The next one, they rush into a new relationship too quickly. Now, Mike, I'm going to ask you to chime in on this one because I'm on the fence about this. I'm going to ask if you're out there because I need a female's perspective. So please, Tanya and Laura, if you're listening, please give me your perspective on this one. Okay. This was if they rush into a new relationship too quickly. Now, I'm an advocate now. I just turned 47. Now, at 47, I don't think it takes me long or it should take me long to realize that I want to be in a relationship with someone. So does that mean that that's a huge red flag? I don't think so. See, that's why I said, and my man Jamie is behind the boards. Shout out to Jamie. He's doing a wonderful job behind
He's doing
it.
a great job.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. And he's like, he agrees. No, it doesn't mean that you're crazy or that's a red flag. It would be a red flag if you took forever to decide that you wanted to be in a relationship.
Is it?
Yes, I'm 47. If you think I'm going to wait 2-3 years for you to decide that, yeah, you want me as your man, that's a red flag.
I didn't know you were going 2-3 years. The 2-3 years, yeah, that's who's waiting around for that.
Well, let's say a good year, a solid
who's
year.
Waiting for that?
I'm not waiting for it.
Who's waiting 2 or 3 years?
I got news for you. My next relationship is the one that I'm ending life with. We going down casket deep with each other. So no. It's not going to take a long time. And I just don't think it should take a long period of time to decide that you want to be in a relationship. I don't think that's a red flag.
I'm going to speak from personal experience with me.
Please do.
If you're already carrying so much baggage from a previous really, really, really bad relationship and multiple bad hookups after that, where you have 100% cut off dating, cut off any ounce of a relationship mentally, you were just clocked out,
right?
All right, and you are focused 100% on your business, your job, and everything else,
right?
And then a girl does come along that is everything, it seems too good to be true kind of girl. Your guard is up. You've already clocked out and mentally on relationships,
right? So
yes, it's going to take a good amount of time before you kind of tap back into it.
I can agree with you on that.
And I mean, for me personally, and for anybody else out there, we know a lot of people with side hustles, with jobs, with that are entrepreneurs or trying to get something off the ground. It is not easy. And me and Supreme on the Funky Contradiction have talked about this many times. It is not easy to be with somebody who has got a full-time job and is trying to create something on the side that they want to be their full-time job, because your dedication to those has to be priority. So, knowing that, coupled with the whole idea of tapping out of relationships and checking out,
right?
It takes a little longer before you go, okay, all right, I'm back in. Not only am I back in, but I believe that this person is in it for the long haul. This person can be the queen or king to my empire that I'm trying to build. But when I believe when you do tap back in, then it's like what you said. It's for the long haul.
Now, see, I have to 50-50 you on that because, okay, what you and Supreme talked about. I'm a firm believer, and I've said this countless times. I'm a firm believer that, okay, what was the saying where it's hard to, get into a relationship when you have a job and a side hustle? Hi, Laura, what's going on? Please give me your input on the topic, this red flag. Do you believe that it's a red flag when individuals rush to get into new relationships. I say no because, especially at my age of 47, it shouldn't take that long to decide. But what I was saying about what you and Supreme said, I'll be quick about this. I'm a firm believer that you make time for things that you want to make time for. And what you don't want to make time for, we make excuses for.
No. But that doesn't apply here.
If it's someone that I want to, it's someone that I want to be with, I'm going to be with that person. I'm going to move heaven and earth to be with that person.
I mean, obviously,
side hustle, 2 jobs. No. I could be out here working like a Jamaican with 6, 7 jobs. No offense to Jamaicans out there, I apologize.
You move heaven and earth to do what you got to do. Absolutely. And there's a saying that says, if the person you're with, man or woman, so I'll just go with man. The man you're with has no money and he buys you something. The man that has $5,000, whatever, and the man that has $100, the man that has $100 buys you something for $50. That means something more than the guy who has $5,000 in his pocket because he has nothing. He's giving you something of nothing. If the guy who has absolutely no time, makes time for you, that means that you mean something to him. Now, the whole thing of moving mountains, the earth and the mountains to make time for the person you care about, absolutely. But also, for anybody with a side hustle, and this is why I truthfully believe this, people are all talk and no action.
Which is true.
People will talk a big game, but don't want to sacrifice, don't want to put in the work, don't want to put in the time, don't want to realize that 5 or 10 years later, while still working on what you believe in, your passion, you might not be making money, or you might still be losing money, but eventually it'll come back to you. But you have to put in the time, the effort. You've got to work those 15, 16, 17-hour long days on your day job and the side hustle, and only give yourself maybe 1 day a week to even do something. Even then, you're still working on it.
Well, what about the relationship, though? Do you think that that's a red flag to rush into a new one?
Is what a red flag?
When people rush quickly to get into a new relationship.
Rushing quickly to get into a new relationship is absolutely a new red flag. If you just got out of something, you need a little bit of time.
But let's say if you haven't been into it, let's say if you've been single for a while.
If you've been single for a while, then you're not rushing into anything.
Well, you can rush to get into a relationship.
Oh, rush! You mean you just met? See,
right.
I'm usually anti that, but I've seen it happen now. It happens less than the part where it doesn't work out. But I've seen where people rush in, and I'm like, "What are you two doing?" People that get married, a couple months after meeting.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, those individuals sometimes are the ones that are married way longer than your buddy who has known his girl for, since high school. They get married, and all of a sudden, 2 or 3 years later, they're divorced.
True story. Ex-coworker that I had worked with, he told me the story. He had a house party. And, house full of people. He met this young lady there. They hit it off. They stayed in each other's face just about the whole night of the house party. After the house party ended, she never left. Literally never left. And I had asked him. He said, literally, she never left. He took her out wardrobe shopping. He fixed her credit. She even had warrants. He took her to the police station so she could get locked up and bailed her out so she could take care of those warrants. They got married. They have a son together. They have a beautiful home. Don't get me wrong. That's not a Disney story. That's not going to happen for everyone. That's not even going to happen for half the people listening out there. That just doesn't, in this universe or any other, that just doesn't happen. Let's be flat out honest about that. But it happened for him and it worked. There is no other extreme case of rushing into a date than that story. Brad says, I know a lot of girls who jump right into a new relationship as soon as one ends. They feel like they can't be single. I'll tell you a tidbit about myself, how I got into this podcast and what made me think of this podcast. I was one of those people. I was one of those people where soon as one relationship ended, I had to get back into another one because I felt as though that new feeling, that feeling of the new fresh relationship will flush out all that pain of the old relationship. Don't ask me, who knows? Maybe that's a sickness, but that's what that's what I thought. And I wound up getting in a relationship with this young lady, and it wound up ending bad. It was someone that I really cared about. It ended bad. And for the very first time, I did not do that. I took time to, get to know me all over, reevaluate things in my life, why I was allowing these type of people into my life. I got to know myself over again. Dave says in the end, I think the speed to get into a relationship is only wrong when both people aren't on the same page. Dave, you on fire tonight. Damn it, you should be sitting in the chair next to me. I agree with you 110% on that. Yes, yeah. If both parties are on the same page, yes, it's nothing wrong with that. But like I was saying, it happens where some people, I'm not going to say just women because men go through the same thing also, hop into another relationship as soon as one ends. Who knows? Maybe they feel like they can't be by themselves. Maybe they just want the pain of the old relationship to go away. Like in my case, who knows? But it does happen. Should it happen? No. Laura says, I read a book once that said, you are never the exception. He's just not that into you. You know what? I saw a post on that on Facebook not too long ago. Yes, actually, the one I saw was, no, she's not uppity, she's not rude, and she's not ignorant. She's just not into you. But similar to what you were saying. I like that one, though. Yeah, so, I didn't think that was a red flag. For some people, who knows, that may be a red flag, but, this is just my opinion. It's not law. If you think that, something is moving too fast for you, you have to know when to hit the brakes on it. Maybe that person and maybe your timeline is the same where, hey, this feels good. I'm going to take it to the next level. The next one, they have no work ethic. I don't know. I mean, we all have our different personal timelines on things that we want to happen in our life. I had someone ask me, could I be in a relationship with a young lady if she had no job? It depends on the circumstances. If she was just waking up every day at 11:30 in the morning, deciding, hey, I'm just gonna stretch out across this couch and watch these TV shows that I've been watching every day. I would have a problem with that. I would. My uncle had a saying that romance with no finance is a damn nuisance. And I do believe that. I do believe that. You have to have some type of work ethic. Dave said, next Monday night, Relationships 101 with Dave Ayers and John Evans. Alphabetical order, I swear. Okay. You know what? Join us. Dave, if you want to, is an open invitation. You could join us, and the gentleman from the Entertainment Experience will be here also. So, sure, a 4-man team. Let's do it. Invitations out there. You're more than welcome to. But, yeah, it happens like that. But, you do have to have some type of work ethic. And I believe in this day and age, in order to build, have something, and achieve goals, two people have to be working in a relationship. So yes, it does need to have or be some type of work ethic amongst the two of you. The next one, they demand your email, phone, and social media passwords. That's a huge red flag. That's a major no-no. Major no. Look at the look on this man's face. It says it all. Please, Mike, you bought yourself on screen. Talk to me.
Not a chance in hell. That's almost as bad as joint Facebook accounts.
Yes. Why do we need those?
You know what? No matter what, in any relationship, you need, not only are you a team, not only are you in it together, and you're building a relationship and sometimes a family together, but you still need your independence.
No
you
doubt.
still need your life, her life. Your lives are together, absolutely. But you need to be able to share stuff. You need to be able to come home and say, guess what happened, blah, 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 blah. Whatever, your day at work, something on social media.
Right.
You need your independence, and if you don't have that, you're dead. Just hang it up.
No doubt. Well, for one, think about this. Why would you want to date someone that doesn't trust you? Tanya Grooms Butler says that's some control shit. I'm out. I'm right behind you. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna be telling me you need that. Well, and you see it all the time where people go into each other's phones and stuff. Nah, I'm not all for that. Emails and social media password. Why do you need all of that?
I was just having a conversation the other day because we just installed new doors here at the studio. And we were having a conversation. This kind of relates about how if somebody wants to rob you, if somebody wants to steal you, if somebody wants to break into your house, I don't care what kind of security cameras, what kind of security setup you have. If somebody wants in, they're getting in.
Yes.
If somebody wants what you have, they're getting in. Just like if somebody's going to cheat, they're going to cheat.
They're going to do it.
It's not a free pass. It's not saying let them do it. What we're saying is they're going to do it, whether you see their social media or not.
That's right.
And a cheater will always get caught.
Yeah.
Eventually.
What happens in the dark comes to light. Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go. So you know what? It causes too much anxiety. It causes too much rift between two people. You know what? If it's going to happen, it's going to happen, and you walk away.
You know what I found, too? That, okay, first of all, we can both agree that this is untrustworthy behavior. But when this sort of thing happens where people, demand passwords and codes and stuff like that, it's normally because they're doing something wrong or that they're not supposed to be doing, and they're trying to cover their tracks by keeping an eye on you.
Mm-hmm.
Brad says, I can't tell you Mike's passwords.
He said Juggalo 1. I only put that up there because I've never used that a day in my life.
Oh, man. But, yeah. And I'm a firm believer on that. People, okay, this is my mom. What's going on, Mom? Thank you. First time ever tuning in on the show. She said, that is the beginning of a toxic, abusive relationship. Run. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But yeah, when Dave again says, and cheaters don't stop cheating ever. Now hold up now. I tell you what, Dave, you come on here because I'm a firm believer that cheaters can be reformed. We'll talk about that. I've had this conversation before. I do not believe, and I will say it again, I do not believe the saying, once a cheater, always a cheater. That's not true. But that's a topic for another conversation because we have a little, matter of fact, this is going to be a part 2. So there's more for me to go into here, and there's just not enough time in the episode. So, but yeah, when they get into asking for those passwords and, security questions and stuff like that, it's time to go. Because like I said, that's untrustworthy behavior, and no one should be subject to that. This is the very last one I'm going to talk about here before we hit the top of the hour. They guilt trip you every chance they get. I've been a victim of this. Making you feel bad, whether it's, to go places, to buy things, make you feel guilty about not doing something for them. Or it could be something where, they make you feel personally responsible for every misfortune or every misfortunate deed that's happened in their lifetime. It's time to, cut that person loose and, huge red flag, get them out of your life also. Mike, I'm going to keep doing this until we hit on up to the tailgate. We got 4 minutes to go. You want to come on and let everyone know about Toxic and what we have going on November 7th.
So November 7th, 2021. So if you're listening to this show on podcast form after that, I'm sorry you missed it, but I'm sure if you go online, you'll find some great pictures of us having a great time and John with a party hat. But anyway, so November 7th, the Chargers versus the Philadelphia Eagles. We will be at the Lincoln Financial Lincoln Financial Field.
There you go.
Parking lot. Jesus. We're going to be in the Lot N. I was just told that apparently there's a north and a west or something, so I have to figure out which one. But Lot N next to Jetro. We're going to be doing a live broadcast, playing all great music during the tailgate. We're going to be having John there, Mr. Entertainment, and
all this.
and ProStar from the Entertainment Experience, and so many others are going to be coming out. We're going to have the prize wheel. We're going to be giving away T-shirts. We're going to be giving away hoodies. We're going to give away stickers. We're going to be having so much swag. It's going to be ridiculous, just giving everything away just for you to come up, party with us. We're going to have some food trays out there.
A great time.
Food will be, while supplies last kind of thing. So if the food's gone by the time you get there, I'm sorry. But we're going to have a good time. It's just there's no other reason to do this than just to party, have a good time, celebrate great shows, great music, and Toxic Radio. So come on out.
All right. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Everyone that chimed in. Like I said, we're dealing with difficult times. I'm fighting a monster right now for TV time, and that monster is called the NFL. But I do appreciate everyone for tuning in. From the bottom of my heart, it means the world to me. I'm going to give a shout out to Mike, the house the Toxic built. Jamie behind the boards controlling everything. My daughter, she won't get up on the screen, but she's also my manager, and she's been, handling a lot of things for me. I appreciate everyone, and everything they do. Like I said, this is a part 2. We will jump on this. Dave, the invitation is out there. If you want to join us, brother, and, even Brad, if you want to come on through, hey, it's enough chairs here. Next week, we'll do it again. It'll be part 2 of Red Flags. Laura says, and me, I'm always open to the female perspective. Anytime you want to join us, a chair is available for you also. Like I said, I want to thank everyone. This is the house that Toxic built, Toxic Radio. This is the podcast Relationships 101. Thank you once again. And I'll leave you with this. If you want the most amazing relationship on the planet, then you have to work and treat it like it's the most amazing relationship on the planet. This is Relationships 101. I'm your host, John Evans. See you next week. Jamie, play me out.